Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Susan Wilson with Informatica, and we are partnering with the CDO Magazine, MIT CDOIQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Sonya Crosby from Westpac Bank. Sonya, so excited for you to join me today in terms of sharing your story with our group of CDOs. First, let's start out by having you share your journey and what were the drivers for creating your role?
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Susan. It's different times of day everywhere, so it's a pleasure to be here. The journey is an interesting one because I don't come from a traditional technology background, and that was actually what Westpac New Zealand wanted when they set up this role. So if I sort of summed up my background in one sentence, it would be about building new value for customers and business. And as we can imagine, as technology has developed, the opportunity to draw on data to create those experiences become more and more important. So Westpac realised that and have formed this new role. I've been in the role for just under a year, and we're going to share that journey today.
Excellent. Building data as a value creator for digital transformation is top of mind for many of our audience members today, our CDOs. Can you share how you look at the value chain of data?
Yes, so the value chain is not just as we think about data sitting in a silo and actually being drawn on to create one customer activity. This is really about how you connect to the commercials and the value created through delivering for customers. So we're thinking about that ROI. We're thinking about where the business is trying to head. We're thinking about how the data supports that to happen, and we're thinking about, therefore, what the data needs to be. So if we consider that data is not static and your business has a direction it's trying to go in, then data has a very, very big part to play across that chain in order to make that happen. And then to tell us whether or not we got there as well.
I love how you've connected the business objectives to data. I'd love to understand a bit more about what that looks like in the trenches, and of course, your starting point for maturity.
Yeah, well, I think most chief data officers would recognise that it's a big challenge right now, and particularly for more established businesses. What we find is that a business like ours that's been running for 160 years very successfully over time. For good reason, and as technology has moved, there's been investment in different types of systems and platforms, and not often do these things talk to each other well. So what you end up with is intergenerational legacy, and that means that your data is trapped in different places. It's very difficult to integrate. It's very difficult to get the goodness out of it. And so that's one big challenge that we face. The other is actually around what we call, and that's one part of data maturity. The other part of it is there's 7 characteristics that are identified by McKinsey, and underneath that there's 35 elements that represent good practice. We have a partnership with McKinsey, and they did a global benchmark for us against 175 similar sized financial organisations. And that helped us to understand where we stand, and also, what are the things that matter most? Where are the gaps that we can close? And so those 7 elements, if I just talk to them a little bit, we've got strategy. So are you connected to your vision for the business? Is data actually in that conversation? Are you making data-driven decisions? Do you have the right capability in your business? And not just capability of data scientists or analysts or engineers, but thinking about, do the people who are making decisions understand how to use data to do that? So that's really important. Your delivery methodology and the tools and the workbench that you have, if you want to encourage modern digital natives into your business, you can't be working with crusty old technology and tools. Then you've got your actual infrastructure, which I talked about itself, which needs to be flexible and agile and safe to use. So your controls by design. And then there's the actual management of your data, the governance you put around it, the way that you actually, governance is to make things accessible in a safe way for customers and business. So these are really important pieces, and the quality of your data that sits with that is key. Then there's actually the culture and the scaling, the ability to actually move fast and create value at pace, which is really exciting. But all those things need to come together. So from identifying all of those key elements, we were able to identify the gaps and then move to close them.